Welcome back to Going Ultra. I am going to be talking about Ultraman Episode 7, which introduces the name of Dan Moriboshi's Ultra Suit, which is 7 or 7.1. I heard there was an Ultraman 7 or Ultra 7, so here we go. That kind of thing's being worked in here. It looks like, seems like the manga or this story has a bunch of homages to stuff from other Ultra series, being a sequel to the original Ultraman, whatnot. Anyway, look at this clip. Isn't the clip cool? I mean, the moral implications are a little muddy, especially the way this show handles them, but that looked cool. Before I get into all the morality, I wanted to talk about this thing with Shinjiro being able to fly as Ultraman, and I like it. I have a really weird, weak spot for things, heroic characters flying. Just two brief mentions of stuff that really impacted me or got me emotional with flying was near the end of Tamers when, Grani? The Siegfried's horse, whatever, this thing that was like a half Digimon, half not Digimon, it's dying, and it gives its life essence over to Gilmon, which is the main character's Digimon, and he asks it in the dub, "Gilmon, do you want to fly? My wings, I will gladly give them to you." And it's very emotional, because it is. Anyway, and then the other was in Child of Light, which came out probably like 5-6 years ago by Ubisoft Canada, I think, or some division of Ubisoft. Anyway, great game. In it, you play a little girl who possibly died, and she's possibly in the realm of the dead, except it's more like a dream than the realm of the dead. And at some point, early on in the game, she is just kind of lost, and then she ends up getting these wings and getting the ability to fly, and it's a really magical moment. It was very well executed, and seeing Shinjiro just kind of floating there, it didn't have the same impact. Like, it wasn't as well executed, but I think the tension and the fact that he was going to like crash into that kid and her mom, and he didn't, and there were all these civilians endangered, and then like the music kicks in triumphantly, and it really sells the moment. Possibly it oversells it because maybe it wasn't that good altogether. So there's some negativity or some legitimate criticism. I don't really feel like it was earned. Like, if Shinjiro keeps accidentally stumbling bass backwards into new abilities and I don't know, heroic traits or qualities or whatever, like, is that good? Is that good storytelling? I don't really think so. As the show goes on, I'm becoming more and more uncomfortable with Shinjiro, even as I accept it as part of the, potentially hero's journey, kind of charting his growth. And he's got to start from a low point or from being a little bit of a jerk before he becomes like a real legit hero, I guess. So the brawler alien that Jack had fought, who he had loosed upon the city, I think is a test for Shinjiro. Things do not go well for this man, this individual. He ends up losing his head, literally. So we're at a decapitation of a head. This is 4 overall decapitations, and this is the first head that's been decapitated. So you can keep that on Decapitation Watch 2019 for Ultraman. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. And then like Edo is like, "Oh, excellent." He loves the fact that Shinjiro flew and cut this guy's head off. And I think Shin Hayata is kind of giving him side-eye over there because he is uncomfortable with the way Edo is reacting to this, which I am too. I still feel like there's a mystery in the narrative that we don't really understand what the heck is going on. And speaking of what the heck's going on, I finally now sort of understand the thread of this Iguru prince. This guy is an endling. He's the last of his species. And he has this device that these guys beat him up and take it from him, and I guess that's behind who's really causing the deaths. I think there's a more complicated plot here. Saved a clip.
He thinks that his precious little Rena is in mortal danger. I'm sure he's already on his way here.
We as the audience are not told how the Iguru have been eliminated until there's just this one guy left, but the creepy skull man that has that device that was stolen from the Iguru earlier makes me wonder if he might be responsible for killing him. And maybe he's targeting Rena or people associated with Rena so that this Rena otaku will come out of his hiding so that he makes himself a target so that the elimination of the Igaru can be complete. I don't know, I'm just kind of guessing, but I think the mystery of it all leads to a lot of speculation, and it's enjoyable, but I really hope this is wrapped up like within the next episode, because it definitely could be. So like I said, Shinjiro's character is, I mean, he's a young man, he's not an adult yet. His prefrontal cortex is not formed. Like, he isn't there quite yet. And him trying to impress Rena with him having killed this alien who he was hesitant to kill, it just feels kind of icky and wrong. And I don't know. He's a guy to be questioned. I have a clip coming up. Moriboshi questions him with this.
Really? You're not even sure you want an Ultra suit, but if someone else does, you start whining.
And I gotta say, it's morally inconsistent that he doesn't really want to be Ultraman. He doesn't really want to be killing these aliens, but the fact that Moriboshi has a suit and that he's operating as Ultraman makes him uncomfortable. Like, that's really weird. Like, where are your ethics? You don't want him killing the aliens, or you want to be the one to kill them, or you want to be the only one who gets to be Ultraman. I don't know. I don't know where you're coming from, Shinjiro, and we're not getting enough insight into him to really make that clear. Shinjiro and Moriboshi have a bit more of an exchange about, I don't know, I guess being a good Ultraman, and a clip coming up from Rena brings that into question, but, like, I don't know. Like, Shinjiro's not Ultraman for me just yet.
If one day I get the chance to meet him face to face, I'd tell him, you may be a hero to some people, but what about the ones you've hurt? What kind of champion of justice can't protect the planet without destroying people's lives?
To Rena's point about a champion not hurting people in the process of trying to save and protect other people, this is a kind of complicated thing with cops. I believe cops should be more heavily prosecuted for their misdoings, but sometimes cops don't do a wrong thing. They act in the right way under the circumstances that they understand, and I think they could be justified in what they did, but it's still wrong because, like, swatting, for instance, there was a guy who died from swatting recently, and like, what were the cops supposed to do? I don't know. They're not omnipotent, they're not omniscient. How can they know what to do? It's a really tough situation, and I kind of feel like Ren is being a little bit unfair there, but at the same time, Shinjiro's not ready to be this outstanding hero who really exemplifies goodness and nobility and whatnot, just because he's not there.
I bet you can't fly. You can't, can you? Can you?
There was some more evidence of Shinjiro being a punk, and more than that, I'm capturing this exchange and sharing it here, and then I kind of want to comment about it intersplice, because I think the scene was really good. It built a lot of tension, and I thought it was impressive how well the lack of dialogue, as much as the dialogue that was there, really informed the mood of the scene.
No, I can't fly. But I can kill alien scum without having to call a timeout to ask myself if it's the right thing to do.
While Shinjiro was hurtling towards the crowd who he was going to crash into and hurt, potentially, he lamented the fact that he has been hesitating, and that has been causing issues, and that it was now putting people's lives in danger. So I think the point that Moriboshi brings up about hesitation is an interesting one, valid. I'm not much into macho-ness or whatever, but like that little exchange represents the difference between a boy and a man, or an adult and a child, and I think it's really cool.
We'll see. We'll find out who's the better Ultraman.
I hope that Moriboshi saying we'll find out who the better Ultraman is a promise to the audience about like what the show is going to be about, because I mentioned before in my show notes, by the way, you should check out the show notes I do for every episode, because I try to write something interesting in there, and I think I've been doing a pretty good job, so you should check them out, definitely, especially with what I had to say yesterday about anyway, I don't want to ruin the surprise, so go ahead and check it out. But is the point of the show going to be exploring what is a good Ultraman? Like, Is a good Ultraman a guy who just kills and kills and kills? Is a good Ultraman someone who stops people from dying, like Rena might have wanted? Or is a good Ultraman something else? I don't know. I think the show has yet to define that, especially because we get to see so little of Shin Hayata's run as Ultraman, or, we only get reference, allusion to it. We don't even really get to see it ourselves as an audience. And I think the show needs to put that forward, otherwise it'll be bad. It won't be good. It'll let me down for sure if it doesn't really explore that as fully as it can. Alright, I've been pretty serious this whole episode, so I wanted to have fun. I like this guy's character design. I like the fact that he's in a baseball cap. That's kind of funny. And then I think this is Steve Bloom.
Prince, end of story.
Yeah, but are you sure he'll show up?
He'll show up. I've got the perfect bait to draw him in.
I didn't check the credits. What do you guys think? Is that Stephen J. Bloom? Because I definitely think it is. I think it'd be really fun if it was him, especially because, somebody else. The guy who plays Moriboshi played, among other people, other characters, and other things, Akihiko from Persona 3. And does he feature in Devil Survivor? No, not Devil Survivor. Digital Devil Saga? I don't know, but this guy sure does. Bloom does. And he's also in Digimon, which I mentioned earlier. Tamers, even. The season I specifically mentioned. Anyway, that's all. I'm going to stop now because I'm getting into tangent territory. I'm not talking about the show anymore. So, anyway, like I said, go ahead and check out the show notes. They will be linked in the description. If you look at episode 6, I had that linked in the description as well. I haven't done it for all the others. I'll probably go back and do that now. But you can check, like I said, that link in the description, and you can see all the other things I've been doing. There's playlists. I've been talking about Kamen Rider, other tokusatsu, and lots of other stuff. You can support me, coffee.com/MJ Munoz is where you can do that. And like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Ring the notification bell. Thanks.